So your higher self or your pure self is a being or a particular part of yourself that is outside of your personas. So many people have more than one persona, and basically a persona is anything that you pretend to be or interact with other people that isn't how you are all the time. And could be considered anything from work, interacting with different friends or family members, basically having a mask upon or wearing something or pretending to be someone with any given circumstances in order to gain something in return. Outside of our persona is what our truest selves are. So when we interact with other people or any type of experience and we don't want anything in return, that is essentially our pure self or our higher self. So if you would like to imagine that you have a being or for some people multiple beings, this being is in a place within yourself that is filled with unconditional love for you. So within every circumstance that you encounter, this being has your best intention or best interest at heart. So he or she will always thrive to protect you and love you, and this being could be considered your higher self or your most genuine self or your purest self. So it's very helpful when you go throughout your day-to-day life to have a reminder of this particular being, because it's for some people, grounding techniques don't work for them because they're not connecting with their truest self or their purest state of being. So it's very difficult to grasp or ground themselves into or do grounding exercises when they are not aware of why they can't be grounded. It's because you're not being genuine with yourself. So the persona comes into play essentially when it comes into play basically, it's like a cloak over the ego. So the ego is basically there as a survival guide. The ego is a part of of you, and it is not a good thing or a bad thing. It's just there. So essentially, if you have lived a life that you have had to be in a type of survival mode or use a lot of survival skills, you're going to most likely live through your ego if those experiences mean something bad about you. So essentially, if you feel like your past experiences or a lot of your past or present experiences mean something bad about you, the ego is going to consistently run the show because it's trying to protect you. When you're in a space of your heart space, this is a place of unity, connection, and it is a place of safety. And this is the fastest way, in my opinion, to connect to your higher self or your purest self. When you're in your heart space, it doesn't have a concept of survival. It has a sense of connectedness, love, unity. It is a place of being authentic, and it is a place of being very real. So what happens within the brain and the body is it kind of forms a less of a resistance to people, places, or things. And what I mean by resistance is that you're not going to be in such a place of not accepting something, or you're not going to be in such a place of not accepting something or an experience about yourself. So that way, the ego or your survival mode is not going to be running the show. So you're going to have more of a connection with your higher self or your pure self. So your pure self always comes out when you feel the most, at ease or relaxed. And it's usually in a state of what you love the most. So, the persona is a place that the ego is linked to. So you have your ego, and then you have the cloak around your ego, which is the persona. And this persona is also in a state of survival mode, and but it is trying to actually protect the ego so it can continue to survive. So this is a very genuine or kind of an outside of the box view of the ego and the persona. But if you would like to step outside of the persona, you will then be able to connect with your higher self or your purest self. So thank you guys so much for watching, and this was a quick video, and I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your Christmas, and I hope to see you on my next video. Have a beautiful day. Bye.